Hey guys, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. It is currently a beautiful sunny day in New Jersey, and it is 75 degrees, and I am in my basement recording videos because I love recording videos for you guys. If you happen to hear barking, that means the puppies are right outside the window above me, and they're saying hello. Now, before I get started with today's video, I wanted to tell you about two new segments that I'm going to be offering that I'm so excited about. The first one is going to start this Wednesday, and it'll post every Wednesday, and it's called Weekend Watch. Because what I found is as soon as people find out that I have an extensive library of movies, the first thing they ask me is, can I borrow a movie? And I politely say no, because they never get returned, but I tell them I can suggest a movie. So I found that they pretty much enjoy what I've been able to suggest for them, and I'd like to offer that same service for you. So what I'll do is I'll tell you what's out on rental, on Blu-ray, DVD, what's in the theaters, and I'll try to pick a few different movies and a few different genres so that there's something for everyone. And I'll tell you what I think would be good to watch for the weekend. And by posting it Wednesday, it gives you time to, plan out your schedule and decide what you want to pick up. So I'm not sure what time the videos are going to post because it depends on the upload time, but if you subscribe and you click the little bell notification right next to that, you'll be notified as soon as the video goes live. So you can look for those every Wednesday, and hopefully it'll be, a really good service for you guys so you can, help you pick out movies if you're not sure what you want to watch. The second one that I'm going to be doing is called 5 on 5, and it's going to be posted on the 5th of every month, and what it is just a top 5 list. Random top 5 lists. I don't know what they're going to be yet. I haven't planned out any, I don't have any real written in stone ones, but I have an idea. But if there's something you guys would like to see, a specific top 5 list, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely get to it. So those are the two of the things that I'm working on now, and I'm really excited about it, and hopefully you guys, you'll enjoy it. And today what I'm going to do is a Blu-ray haul. And I'm doing that because there haven't been a lot of new releases. It's been a little slow in the new release department. So pretty much what I've done is backfill my collection, things that I wanted on Blu-ray that I haven't gotten, or things that, I've just been putting on the back burner because I was spending money on new releases instead of older stuff. So it's a little mix. There's some new things, there's some older things, and I have a lot of different genres here. So, there's going to be a little something for everybody. So it's going to be more of an overview, not a review. So I'm just going to give you a few quick thoughts on each one and right to the next one. All right. So we're going to get going with the first one, which really makes me feel old. The 40th edition of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke on Blu-ray for the first time. And I feel old because I remember when this movie came out. Oof. It's the ultimate stoner movie, as you know. And if you're a big fan of the movie, definitely you're going to want to upgrade from whatever version you have, probably a DVD. And this it's a two-disc set, and it has a lot of extras, and it's a lot of fun. And come on, it's Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. How can you go wrong with it? If you love the movie, definitely check it out and pick it up. Second one is a Criterion and I love. I'm a big fan of Criterions. We're going to get into Criterions if you're not familiar with it. But Criterion does an amazing job of restoring films, and especially what they give you as far as extras. This is The Breakfast Club by John Hughes. I love this film. Who doesn't love The Breakfast Club? And it's funny because I just watched it the other night because I wanted to see, the picture quality, because it's now a 4K restoration. It'll play on your regular Blu-ray player, but it's a 4K restoration. The picture quality is amazing. It is beautiful. They cleaned it up so well. It really looks great. And the funny thing is that I hadn't seen it in a few years, but it really, other than the fact that nobody had cell phones, which is a little odd, it really holds up. It's a movie that just holds up. It's still relevant. It's still good, and I really loved it. And the nice thing about Criterion is they usually almost all come with a booklet of essays about the movies, and you get a lot of interesting facts about the movies and maybe things you didn't know before. So, Criterions are a little extra money, a little more than your normal Blu-ray, but definitely worth the pickup. And if you like the movie and you like The Breakfast Club or any movie in their collection, definitely pick them up. And I am going to be getting more into my Criterion collection because I think it's something that people really should know about, and there's a lot to be said for the collection, definitely. So this is the first one we're doing, and definitely give it a watch. You're going to enjoy it. Next one stars Matthew McConaughey, and it is called Gold. And this is based on true events, the Brevex debacle. But if you don't know anything about that, don't watch it. Just go watch the movie. Matthew McConaughey plays an investor slash prospector who is in search of gold, obviously. He hooks up with a guy in Indonesia who is sure that he can find gold. And yeah, they strike gold. They hit it rich. They are big time. Wall Street surges, the stock surges, and this is a really interesting story, and I'm glad I didn't know anything going into it, because I think I really enjoyed the movie more. If I had known the plot and where it was going, I think I would have been trying to do guesswork the whole way. But just go into it blind. It's a safe blind buy. You're gonna enjoy the movie. It's really good stuff, and it's a very interesting story. And I believe the real man's name, who Matthew McConaughey is playing, is David Walsh. And they call him Kenny Wells in this. But the interesting fact is Matthew McConaughey gained 40 pounds for the role. Eesh. He's a hot mess in this movie, but he's an awesome, awesome part. He plays an awesome part. But yeah, Gold. Give it a watch. It's really good. And it's a very safe, like I said, safe blind buy. This is an older one called Basketball Diaries, with a very young Leonardo DiCaprio and very young Mark Wahlberg. And it's based on the journals of, I forget his name, Jim Carroll. I'm so sorry, Jim Carroll. It's based on his diaries. He was a basketball prodigy and got very involved in the heroin scene. But the whole time he was doing this downward spiral, he kept diaries. And this movie is based on those diaries, how he went from being a New York basketball prodigy to a homeless junkie, basically. And not that this film is for everyone, but you know, if you want to show young people the real sad effects of heroin use, it's worth a watch. It is rated R, of course, but it's a really intense movie. But it's very, very good, and it's very moving, and it's a good watch. But yeah, definitely pick up Basketball Diaries and give it a look. The next one is A Study in Terror. And what it is Jack the Ripper and Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is investigating Jack the Ripper. It is from, I think, 1968, if I'm not mistaken. And you're going to see a very young Judi Dench starring in this. But it's a really good movie. If you're into Sherlock Holmes and you're into the whole Jack the Ripper thing, you're going to really enjoy this one. It is what it is. Sherlock Holmes chasing after Jack the Ripper. Yeah, definitely give this one a watch. All right, let's go to the next pile here. Last Flag Flying with Lawrence Fishburne and Bryan Cranston and Steve Carell. This is a pretty moving movie, and I think people may have thought it was going to be a comedy just because of the lineup, but it is not a comedy. And I think for people who are veterans or have family members who are serving, they're going to have a pretty intense experience with this movie. Steve Carell's character is extremely subdued, which is a very different role for him, but he really does a good job. And Bryan Cranston is great, and Lawrence Fishburne is great. Their chemistry, their on-screen chemistry is great, and the story is really, it's a moving story. It's sad, there are some funny parts, but it's not a comedy. And yeah, I would definitely say maybe give it a rent before you buy it, but yeah, definitely give it a watch. It was a good one. A little bit of a slow burn, but it's definitely it pulls at your heartstrings. Yeah, give it a look. The next one I haven't watched yet, but I've heard a lot about it. The Breadwinner. It was produced by Angelina Jolie, and it was also up for an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. It of course Coco won that category, but this was one of the favorites as well. And it's about a little girl who disguises herself as a boy in Afghanistan to take care of her family while her father has been jailed by the Taliban. It is rated PG-13, so I'm not sure the level of violence that's in it. So just because it's animated, don't necessarily assume that it's appropriate for the little ones. You might want to take a look at it before you have kids under the age of 13 or so watch it, because I have a feeling there probably is some, the violence or maybe things you don't want them to experience alone. but I've heard rave reviews and it looks really fantastic, so I can't wait to watch it and get back to you guys with more in-depth thoughts. Next one, whoo, Brawl in Cellblock 99 with Vince Vaughn, and boy is he a freaking badass in this movie. This movie was great. I mean, I've heard people say it was good. I thought it was great. I love seeing Vince Vaughn in roles where he's not just, you know, the funny guy, the funny sidekick, but he's a really good badass, and he pulled it off. And not only that, but the plot and the writing is really good. There's some great plot twists in this one, and if you can deal with the violence, it's a great movie. It is, like I said, it's really violent and graphically violent. So, you know, it's a prison movie. Be ready for it. But if you're okay with that, I highly suggest giving this a watch, because I really did like it, and the writing and the plot, everything was great. So, and I love Vince Vaughn, so anything with him in it, I'm there. But yeah, Brawl in Cellblock 99, give it a watch. Now these next two are a little controversial. I heard a lot of, you know, it got a lot of hate, especially this first one, Downsizing with Matt Damon. People just, oh, they ragged on it, they hated it. But I don't know. I heard a couple other people say, you know what, be a little open-minded, give it a watch, and I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this movie. I kept waiting to hate it, and I didn't. I think part of the problem with the movie was the trailer. I think the trailer was a little misleading. I think it was a lot misleading, in that people thought that they were getting a comedy, and it's not. It is not a comedy. It's more of a drama, and almost like a character study. But the concept is definitely, it's imaginative, it's different. I've never seen anything like it, and isn't that why we go to the movies, to experience something new? This held my attention the whole way through, and like I said, I read people saying that they walked out in the middle of the theater, just walked out in the middle of the movie. I don't understand why, unless they thought they were going to get, you know, like I said, get a comedy. But this, it was good. It was really good. And be open-minded. If you don't want to commit to buying it, just go rent it wherever you can rent, wherever you rent your movies, and really give it a watch, because it's really a unique experience, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And you know what? When you watch it, give me some feedback. Let me know what you thought of it, because I'd be curious to see if, you know, I'm not the only one that didn't hate it. Downsizing. And this next one, same thing. Poor Matt Damon. He's having a tough year. Suburbicon, written by the Coen brothers, so you have to expect that it's going to be a little weird, right? My favorite Coen brothers film, still Fargo, but this was really good. Not great, it was good. The trailer was really off-putting. I thought it was so bizarre. I'm like, what the hell is this movie going to be about? But you know what? I heard the same thing. Give it a watch, be open-minded, and I did, and I really thought it was decent. Again, not great, decent, but I want to give it a second watch, because I'm sure there's a lot of underlying messages that I didn't totally connect with, because I was trying to connect all the other dots. But yeah, Suburbicon, it was pretty good. And you know, Matt Damon's a little bit of a weirdo in it, but he pulls it off, and again, it was an enjoyable watch. I didn't hate it. So I wouldn't run out and buy it. I would say rent it, stream it, see what you think, and then go from there. But yeah, Suburbicon, it's a good one. Now this next stack is from Shout Factory, Scream Factory, and these are things that either I wanted to pick up, or maybe I had and I didn't have a Blu-ray edition. So the first one is Manhunter. Have you not seen Manhunter? Are you a fan of Silence of the Lambs? This was before Silence of the Lambs. Now this guy over here, I forget his name, but he was the original Hannibal Lecter. And what it is they have the FBI guy, and they're looking for the guy called the Tooth Fairy. And Hannibal Lecter is helping this agent, of course, hunt the Tooth Fairy. And I can tell you that it is the most chilling use of the song Anagata Davida that you'll ever see. It is a really, really great movie, and if you enjoy Silence of the Lambs and the whole Red Dragon, the whole trilogy, which obviously I do, there they are, Hannibal Lecter. This is a really good watch, and if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. I haven't seen it on Blu-ray yet, but you know, if it's from Scream Factory, it's going to be great. And it has, again, it has a ton of extras. There's a ton of extras. So yeah, definitely Manhunter, good one. Now this next one, I had the regular edition, but of course I had to get the Scream Factory Special Edition, The Strangers. This scared the living crap out of me. I've seen it probably 5, 6, 7 times. It still scares me. And if you're not familiar with the plot, this couple goes up and they're in a cabin in the woods and they're supposed to be having a romantic night, like 3 or 4 in the morning. They get this knock on the door and these people are here. That's all I'm going to say. And they terrorize them through the rest of the night. And it's I will never, ever rent a cabin in the woods after seeing this. Now, I've heard the Strangers version that's out in the theater isn't so great. But this one, I think it's a home run because I didn't want to go outside after I saw it. So, yeah, The Strangers from Scream Factory. You can get it on shoutfactory.com or you can pick it up on Amazon. So, yeah, give it a watch. Black Christmas, oldie but a goodie. Probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, so that tells you my mindset. I'm kidding. But no, this is a really good horror / Christmas movie. Typical slasher movie. If you haven't seen it or you don't own it, give it a watch. It's a good one. It's fun. I like it. The next one, the collector's edition, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And it came with a really cool poster. But no, this is another Scream Factory special edition. Tons of special features. New HD master from the digital intermediate. It's great. And what it is it's kind of a dark comedy, if you can call it that. His idols are Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers, and he wants to be a slasher. And the ironic thing is that his psychiatrist is played by Robert Englund, who's Freddy Krueger. So that's kind of funny, and he invites this documentary team to follow him around and chronicle his behaviors. But this movie is a lot of fun. It is extremely well written, and it has been called a masterpiece. It says it right there, right on the back cover, a masterpiece of horror, and I really enjoyed it. So there's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of horror, and it just works. It just works. Just check it out if you're a fan of horror. And this last one is an old one, I think from 1989. Tom Hanks, The Burbs. And again, another kind of black comedy, dark comedy, where Tom Hanks and his neighbors are convinced that the new neighbors that have moved in across the way are somehow possessed or murdering people, or they're a problem. And Carrie Fisher's in this, rest in peace. It's a fun movie. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. And when they came out with the collector's edition, of course, I had to pick it up. And I suggest you do too, because it's a lot of fun. And it's so funny. Tom Hanks, everybody looks so young in this. I mean, 1989 to me feels like it's just around the corner. No, it wasn't. We're all getting older. But this is a good one, The Burbs. Okay, guys, last pile. And you're going to be shocked. Well, at least I'm shocked. It's a musical pile. I'm not normally a musical kind of gal, but I have found that the ones that I really like. And if I don't like them, in the trash. But this pile, I'm good. I'm solid with this one. So now the first 3 here, yep, I'm guilty. Pitch Perfect, 1, 2, and 3. Let me explain myself. I heard that the first one was good. So I watched it, and I liked it. The singing was good, the plot was decent, and I'm a completionist. So, of course, then 2 and 3. Had to get all 3. Had to get all 3 in 4K. So I haven't watched 2 and 3. I heard 1 was the best one. So I'm kind of looking forward to watching 2 and 3. I'm going to draw the blinds so no one can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just, on the down low, I'm going to watch them. And I will get back to you with my thoughts on the other 2. But I can say that the first one, it was good. It held my attention. I enjoyed the singing. It was funny. It was good. But again, PG-13, so it is adult humor. They're in college, so if you have younger ones that want to watch it, there is some adult humor in it, and that's probably why I liked it so much. So, yeah, Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3. Guilty as charged. Now this next one, love this one. Across the Universe. If you love the Beatles, go. No more thought required. Just get it. It takes place during the late 1960s with all the Vietnam protests going on, and we have our young man Jude, who comes over from Liverpool, who's a poor artist, and he falls in love with Lucy, who's a more upper crust gal, and off they go. if you enjoy movies that are in the Vietnam era and that whole turbulent time in our, in our country, you're going to really love this. And you combine that with the Beatles soundtrack, come on, it is a home run. It's just a home run. Just get it. Safe Blind Buy. I'm recommending it. Do it. Now the last one, The Greatest Showman. This was not on my radar until I saw other YouTubers review it and say how good it was and how much they enjoyed it. And I have to say, I watched it last night and I really, really enjoyed it. The soundtrack, the score, the music is so catchy and so good. I can actually see myself going to iTunes and downloading some of it. Probably guilty as charged. Maybe I've already done it. Anyway, it's really good. It's really an inspiring story. It's about following your dreams, and it's a good positive message. I have to say the plot, it's a little light. It's a little superficial in places, but that's okay because that's not really so much what we're there for with a musical. We want to hear good music, and we want to see good performances and singing and dancing and all that good stuff, and this has it. And it has the good message of, following your heart and following your dreams, and it's just a good one. I have to agree with the other reviewers that it's really good, and it's a family-friendly movie, PG. I don't think there's a curse word in it, so yeah, it's fun for the whole family, and it's a safe, another one, a safe blind buy. There, I said it, musicals, I'm in. Okay, so that wraps up my Blu-ray update, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and again, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload, and you know that I'm going to be coming back on Wednesday with the weekend watch update. So stay tuned for that, and until then, that's a wrap.